Hi, you're listening to Fluent in Canine. I'm your host, Sarah Ann Reed, holistic dog trainer, animal communicator, and owner of Pack Dynamics. Today, I'm going to be having an intuitive chat with dogs as a collective, meaning whoever wants to step up to the mic and answer. When dogs communicate intuitively with me, I usually see images and videos in my mind. If it's something emotional, I will feel that emotion myself. If they're feeling something physical, I usually feel the sensation in my body. For example, a pinching or a throbbing. And then in my mind, they will show me an image of their body and highlight the area that they're experiencing that sensation. And it's like feeling the words that they're sharing with me. It's usually a combination of all of those things. And the personalities come through. Sometimes it's quite a hoot. If they are a comedian, they're usually cracking jokes the whole time. Other times they're more serious and to the point. And just like with people, sometimes they politely wait for each other to share their point of view or what they would like to share. And other times they're interrupting each other. It's always a surprise for me. I never know what they're going to share. So let's get started with today's conversation. I'm going to be asking why dogs want to incarnate as dogs. When I'm communicating with dogs intuitively, I don't know why, but my left hand always comes up. I guess it's like picking up the phone to talk to someone. And my eyes are closed. So here we go. Okay. There are dogs sitting around a table with a mic in the center. Okay, and they're wanting me to share with you to please keep in mind that this is a conversation. So there may be a moment or two that I'm listening to their answer and there could be a pause in my delivery. Okay, thank you. So can you please answer the question for us? Why do dogs choose to incarnate as dogs? Okay, there are many, many reasons. Dogs come into our lives at the right time. They're saying whether you bring home a puppy or you are adopting a 6-year-old dog, okay, they have a contract with you, a soul contract, and they have chosen to come into your life when they do. And they're wanting everyone to know who has adopted a dog that is feeling so terrible for their dog's past, what they've gone through before they were adopted. If you know that they were abused or traumatized, neglected, abandoned, okay, they want you to know that there was an awareness that even as they were going through the trauma, that this would not be forever, right? And they knew that they were going to be coming to you. And they're showing me when I see someone's contract and animals' contracts, they show me it's a wall with wooden cubby holes. and there are scrolls in the cubby holes, and they're showing, yes, pulling out a scroll, which represents a, a person's soul contract, and then pulling out a contract for a dog who has chosen to come into this person's life. Before you even incarnate, you have made an agreement with this soul being that they will enter your life at the perfect time when you need them most or when you're ready for them. Okay. Yes. Okay. So they wanted to start with that just to let you know. Okay. The dogs are wanting you to know, please don't focus on our past, because we as dogs live in the present moment. And we are so thrilled to be with you right now. We are not like humans who keep replaying the past. We are in the moment. Yes, we might get triggered and have what feels like a panic attack when we're triggered, when we see something that has caused us fear or trauma in the past, but we're not thinking about it all day long. However, if you think about our trauma and keep reliving it or wondering what it was, and you keep focusing on that, you cause us to continue to feel wounded and traumatized. Okay. And if you continue to view us in that way, as the wounded child, so to speak, then we feel that from you. And that causes us to feel like something's wrong with us. And we don't feel confidence from you about our ability to move through those things. And the dogs are saying, we know this might be a little off topic of the question that you asked. Why do dogs choose to incarnate as dogs? But this is very important for people with rescue pups to understand and grasp this concept. Have confidence that we are okay because we're okay right now. We're loved, we're supported, we're taken care of. We feel safe now. We're okay now. Okay, thank you. And because of who you are, everyone who has adopted a dog, you would not have found us if we had not gone through some kind of trauma, because you were insistent on adopting a dog, on rescuing a dog. So if we hadn't gone through that, we couldn't have found each other. And we want you to keep that in mind. And we also came into your life exactly when we were meant to, so that you were in a place within yourself to help us move through our trauma. And we came into your life at the perfect time to help you too. Now they're wanting me to shift topics. There are three main reasons that dogs choose to come into our lives. Yes, okay. As companions for us, especially for those living alone, as healers for us, especially those who are dealing with a physical condition, and then teachers, teachers to help us with our life lessons. And they're saying that we as dogs choose to incarnate, to come into your lives as dogs. Because in a way where our relationship is much easier than with people. Most of you humans feel safer with dogs, safer being your true selves, safer speaking your truth to us when no one else is around and getting it off your chest. You feel safer opening up to us to share your love with us and to receive love from us. And okay, and there are many of us dogs who choose to incarnate as dogs because we know that you are not going to have any human children in your lifetime. Okay. Okay. And they're wanting me to share this too. There's so much on this topic that they want to bring up. So I have a feeling we might be talking about this topic again. Okay. And they're nodding their heads, yes. Okay. Because we choose as soul beings to incarnate, to come back as dogs, we want you to know that sometimes we haven't always been a dog. And they're saying a lot of people listening will feel very reassured by this because you feel that there is a much deeper connection. And you knew from the moment that you saw a picture of us or you met us that we were your fur baby. You had absolutely no doubt. And there's such a familiarity there. Like you already feel like you know us on a soul level. And they're wanting you to know, yes, we're confirming that's because you do. You already know us on a soul level, and we have such a deep, deep connection. Okay. And the dogs are wanting me to share, okay, when I communicate with dogs individually, when there is a soul connection like this, I see in my mind's eye like an energetic umbilical cord that is connecting the human and the dog. And that is always the way that dogs will show me when there's a very profound, deep connection. Yes. Okay. Often we have had many lifetimes together before. Sometimes we may have been your dog in the past. Okay. And they're wanting me to share, it may have been in your past in this lifetime, and it may have been in previous lifetimes. We may also have been your child in a previous lifetime. Now show me something else here. Okay. And also, okay. Sometimes a sibling in a previous lifetime, especially if their life as your sibling was cut short. They want to have an experience with you again. Yes. Okay. And they're saying the same thing if they were your child in a previous lifetime, especially if that lifetime back then when they were your child, if that lifetime was cut short, they have such a strong desire to come back and be with you again. And if this time you don't have any human children, and they're very aware of that before you incarnate in this lifetime, you make an agreement that they're going to come in as a fur baby. And you choose that time in your life when you're ready for them to come in. So there is a deep spiritual meaning sometimes behind why we choose to incarnate as dogs, because that's the only way for us to be with you again and have that experience and allow you to feel being as close to a parent to us as possible, and for us to be your fur baby, to have fun together, to play together, to be in the moment, and really experience all of that joy that we missed out on before. Okay. And sometimes we may not have died in a previous lifetime, but we may have been taken away from you too young in one way or another. There was a separation between us and a soul yearning to be together again. Okay. Thank you. They're saying, yes, it's very deep. Okay. And when we choose to come in to be a companion for you, it is often during a time in your life that you may feel more alone. You may be struggling emotionally. You may not be physically alone. You may have other human family members, but you may feel disconnected from them and really need to have a close bond. That's when we come in to be your companion, to just be there as your rock, as a being that you can count on and love and feel loved by. When we come in as a healer, we often come in and take on physical conditions to give you some relief, which is why often we mirror your health conditions so you don't experience it in such an intense way. And they're saying, don't feel bad, we're choosing this. Okay. And also, if someone suffers from seizures, panic attacks, anything like that, where they need us to alert them and give them a heads up so that they can, yes, prepare and get to a safe place or take medication, that's when we come in to support you and help you heal in that way. Okay. And when we come in as emotional support, we're helping with emotional healing. Okay. And they're saying often when we come in as emotional support, you may not feel like we're being supportive at all. And they're laughing. Because if you struggle with setting clear boundaries for yourself and you're always saying yes to everyone and feeling worn out and exhausted, like there's never enough left for you, we usually come in and question your boundaries a lot in the hopes that you will learn how to create boundaries with us as your fur baby in a healthy, loving way, realizing that that's okay for you to do, that we as dogs actually need boundaries in order to feel safe and comfortable, just like children do. Yes. And when you can start that journey of creating healthy boundaries with us, your dog, it gives you a new skill and allows you then the opportunity to start creating healthier boundaries for yourself in your other relationships, friendships, work relationships, romantic relationships, all kinds of family relationships. This is often a lifelong lesson for someone, or at least usually takes years for them to accept and know that it's okay to practice self-care and say no sometimes. So that's a big one that we help with. Okay. And then they're saying that you would like to have an example. Okay. So if a dog is constantly trying to get your attention and barking at you for attention, or just continues to want you to throw the ball over and over and over, and you are exhausted at the end of the day and you just don't have any more energy, and you don't mean to, but maybe you get frustrated at your dog because they just won't stop. They're so stubborn. This is your dog's way of prompting you to learn how to create healthy boundaries for yourself. May not feel like it, may feel like they're being difficult, or they have no self-control, when in fact they're asking you to create boundaries for yourself. Okay, thank you. Can you share some other examples of how dogs are trying to help us with our life lessons? Okay. They're saying, as dogs, we all have different personalities, as you know. And another way that we are helping with life lessons is teaching by example. And they're showing me an image of a family who is hanging out in the living room, and the energy is maybe a little intense for the dog. They're playing a game, everyone's animated, and the dog is a little more quiet and just likes things to be more chill in the evening. So this dog doesn't feel guilty about it at all, but just goes and hangs out in another room on their dog bed, or goes and lays in their crate. That's their safe space. They're doing what they need to feel comfortable within themselves. They're removing themselves from an uncomfortable situation without guilt. And they're underlining this. Okay. They're also trying to help us with so many life lessons. When I communicate with dogs individually, people are often very, very surprised at the advice that their dogs give them. And the dogs are sharing this now. We see you, our humans, as soul beings. We see your truth. We see your emotions. We understand your intentions and your expectations of us. And we see your potential. Often we are really trying to encourage you to gain some more wisdom, some more life skills in your relationship with us, and helping us learn something that will help you in your own life, the rest of your life. Okay, and they're giving another example for someone who has a very sensitive dog. The dog is very sensitive to energy and emotions. If their family members are paying attention and really focusing on honoring their dog, who is sensitive to maybe loud noises and a lot of chaos and really needs calm, grounded energy, sometimes that's all the motivation that someone needs to say, oh, you know what? I've really been thinking about meditating for the last few years and I haven't really done it, but it's really obvious to me that my dog needs me to be in a more calm, grounded state. I'm going to start meditating for them. I will meditate so that I can be in that space to best support them. And I actually like it when the house is calmer too. So maybe we'll start playing some calm, relaxing music and have a diffuser going with scents that really help us feel relaxed as a family. because that will support them too. Thank you. And they're sharing with me that this is enough to share for today. I'm just going to thank them. Thank you for your insight and wisdom. I really appreciate all of your amazing words. Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed listening today to Fluent in Canine. Until next time.